Welcome back to Autoscoop. Here are the 10 most anticipated motorcycles of 2024. Let's start with the number 10, BMW R1300 GS. By BMW's own admission, the boxer twin engine was reaching the limits of development with the R1250 GS, but, contrary to that expectation, BMW has completely re-engineered the engine, and if displacement has risen only a small amount, 46 cubic centimeters, to make it a true 1,300 cubic centimeters. It still has the shift cam variable valve timing and power is up to 145 horsepower. Perhaps more importantly, the overall weight has been reduced by 26 pounds, and BMW says the ethos behind the new model was to reverse the trend of adventure motorcycles getting ever bigger and more bulky. Huge electronics package and Harley copying self-lowering suspension when at rest. The new R1300 GS might be light years away from the very first R80 GS of the early 1980s, but the goal remains the same: peerless performance, practicality and durability on any road surface the world can throw at it. It gets a price tag of $18,895. Number 9. Aprilia RS 457. A lot of manufacturers are looking to the smaller classes in the pursuit of sales success, and Aprilia has joined the fray with the new RS 457. It is powered by a liquid-cooled, DOHC twin-cylinder engine, pushing out 47 horsepower, and looks for all the world like a miniature RS V4, which will do it no harm whatsoever. The aluminum frame uses the engine as a stressed member, and weight is kept down to an excellent 385 pounds. Technology that was once the preserve of flagship models has trickled down, and you'll get ride-by-wire throttle, with 3 riding modes, dual-channel ABS, a full-color TFT dash, and a not-too-extreme riding position. If it has all the Aprilia DNA, it is sure to be great fun on the road or track. It gets a price tag of $6,799. Number 8. KTM 890 Adventure R Rally. In case the standard KTM 890 Adventure R is not quite hardcore enough for you, KTM has announced the rally spec version of the model. The main improvement is to the suspension. The 890 Adventure R Rally gets lightweight WP-X Plur Pro 7548 forks and a WP-X Plur Pro 6746 rear shock absorber, both from the WP Pro Components program. This premium suspension offers the highest level of damping performance in the toughest of conditions, giving excellent feel, comfort and control, not to mention a superior ride when the bike is fully loaded with either passenger or luggage. The engine remains in the same tune, which means 105 horsepower and 73 foot-pounds of torque, and comes complete with an Akrapovic slip-on line exhaust. Other benefits are a race-specific rally seat, heavy-duty wheels with Excel rims, a quick shifter, rally foot pegs, tank guards, engine guards and suspension guards. It gets a price tag of $21,499. Number 7. Triumph Scrambler 400X. Massive news from Triumph, even if it is not unexpected, as spy shots have been circulating for at least a year. This will be Triumph's first single-cylinder engine in over 50 years and is a fuel-injected DOHC unit, developing 40 horsepower and 28 foot-pounds of torque, with the bulk of the latter available from 2,500 RPM up to 9,500 RPM. Slightly longer travel suspension than the Speed 400, but, in reality, this is more of a street scrambler with style more important than real-world off-road ability, although Metzeler Karoo street tires will work well off-road, while the 19-inch front, 17-inch rear tire sizes mean that there will be plenty of street rubber that can be fitted if there is no intention to head off-road. 395 pounds is the all-in weight, and if Triumph has maintained the build quality of its larger models, it's hard to see this not being a huge success. It gets a price tag of $6,113. Number 6. Triumph Speed 400. The Speed 400 is the sporting roadster model of the new 400 cubic centimeters lineup and is mechanically identical to the Scrambler 400X. The engine was designed by Triumph in the UK, and the bike will be built in India thanks to Triumph's Bajaj tie-in. The throttle is ride-by-wire, giving access to traction control. The gearbox has 6 speeds, mated to a slip and assist clutch. Suspension is by Showa, seat height a low 31 inches, disc brakes are clamped by Biber calipers, There's an analog speedometer with a digital display, not dissimilar to Triumph dashboards of years gone by. LED lighting is used all round, and there is no reason to expect anything other than Triumph build quality, which is among the best from any manufacturer. From a distance, you'll have to look carefully to realize it's not a Speed Twin 1200, and that's only going to add to the appeal. It gets a price tag of $5,390. Number 5. Kawasaki Eliminator. Kawasaki's brilliant little parallel twin engine finds a new home in the Honda Rebel 500 challenging Eliminator model. At 451 cubic centimeters, it's only 20 cubic centimeters shy of the Honda's displacement, and obviously has been designed to go head-to-head with that model, both in terms of performance and styling, being a sort of long and low cruiser, albeit one with not dissimilar rider ergonomics to the Z400 naked sports bike, although the wheelbase is longer and the bars mounted slightly higher. Horsepower is not quoted, but torque figure sits at 31.7 foot-pounds, nearly 4 more than the same engine in the Ninja 400, at lower RPM, which gives an indication of where Kawasaki is pitching this model. It looks pleasingly chunky, helped by the 130mm, 150mm front and rear tire widths. The seat height is a low 28.9 inches and overall weight is 386 pounds. Interestingly, Kawasaki still offers ABS and non-ABS versions. It gets a price tag of $6,850. Number 4. BMW R1290. It's hard to believe that the R90 has been around for 10 years already and was clearly ready for an update. The name of the new model is confusing, and as there are no specifications available as yet, there's no way of telling what the displacement will be, although the pictures tell us it is still air or oil-cooled. The overall design is the same, but it has been tweaked and has a more aggressive look to it, and BMW tells us that the frame is new, the forks inverted and the Brembo calipers radially mounted. The original R90 was launched to celebrate 90 years of BMW Motorrad, so it's only fitting that the model receives an update for the 100th anniversary. The price of the R1290 has not yet been announced. Number 3. BMW M1000 XR. We all know that the average age of motorcyclists is rising, and the sports bike riders of yesteryear can no longer fold themselves onto an extreme superbike anymore. But does that mean that their hunger for extreme performance is dimmed? Apparently not, according to BMW, and the evidence comes in the form of the M1000 XR. The S1000 XR had a detuned version of the inline 4-cylinder engine from the S1000 RR in a sports touring chassis and riding position, and the M1000 XR is no different in this respect, although 200 horsepower on tap and a top speed of 174 miles per hour isn't much of a detune. The M brakes are fitted, as are the M winglets, and this bike should be a beast on road or track. It gets a price tag of $29,995. Number 2. BMW F900 GS Adventure. BMW has been busy. The fourth bike on this list from Germany is BMW's latest entry into the increasingly important middleweight adventure bike category, that is dominated by Triumph and KTM at the moment, with the Tiger 900 and 890 Adventure respectively. The F900 GS replaces the F850 GS, and the 895 cubic centimeters, 8-valve parallel twin engine pushes out 103 horsepower with impressive smoothness thanks to the balancer shafts. 30 pounds has been shaved off the overall weight, and the overall stance is slightly more off-road inspired. The Adventure model replaces the 14.5-liter tank with a 23-liter item. Electronics have all been upgraded, and dynamic electronic suspension is an option, as is much else, but you will pay heavily for all of it. It gets a price tag of $17,295. And number 1. Kawasaki KLX300. There was a time when bikes such as the Kawasaki KLX300 and Honda XR650 were still strong alternatives to the relatively new breed of adventure bike, and, even though you can still buy both if you're in the right country, they are fantastically old-fashioned and far too uncomfortable to offer any opposition to the likes of the BMW GS models. But that doesn't stop the appeal of a large-engine trail bike, and Kawasaki's 2024 KLX300 is a brilliant antidote to the weight and bulk of modern adventure bikes. The engine is a 292 cubic centimeters, fuel-injected 4-valve single, which just about large enough to enable a longer ride on the back top. But it will be off-road where the KLX will excel, thanks to its tall suspension and 21 and 18-inch wheels wearing knoblet tires. Also, available is the KLX300 SM for supermotored, with road tire wheel sizes. It gets a price tag of $6,199 US.